الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وأصحابه ومن سار على سبيله إلى يوم الدين أما بعد. So in continuing discussing what is referred to as the topic of Tariq al-Fiqh or Madkhal ila al-Fiqh al-Islamiyya regarding concerning the history of the fiqh of Islam and how it evolved and developed, that in the last session that we had covered concerning the development of the madhahib or the start of the madhahib. So madhahib that al-fiqh that we have today, and as we mentioned that the ulama that they have classed those madhahib into two main categories. That one regarding those madhahib that started from then, and also that they still remain up until today. So those one that they mentioned that they started and they still baqi, and they still remain until today. And we mentioned that those ones that still remain today, that they are four primary ones: that of Imam Abu Hanifa, the madhab of Imam Malik, the madhab of Imam al-Shafi, and also for the madhab of Ahmad ibn Hanbal rahimahullah. We mentioned also that there's and then also the ulama that mentioned there's many others that also existed, but they did not remain intact as that of those previously mentioned. So of those others that existed then, but also did not, but they mentioned mundathara, that they somewhat did not per se continued. That we mentioned regarding the madhab of Abdullah ibn Shubrama. Also second, the madhab concerning of Ibn Abi Layla. Also that of Al-Awzahi. So also Awzahi rahimahullah. Also Sufyan al-Thawri. Also Layth ibn Sa'd al-Misri. Also the madhab. Also Sharik ibn Abdullah al-Nakhai. Also Sufyan ibn Uyayna. Also Ishaq ibn Rahuya. Also Abu Thawr. And also Dawood ibn Ali al-Asbahani al-Zahiri. And also that of Muhammad ibn Jarir al-Tabari al-Mufassir, ma'ruf, and also the madhab of Ibn Khuzaymah, rahimahumullah, jami'an. So those are the different madhahib that also existed during that time. Many of those did not remain intact as those four that were mentioned first. So, but they still remain of their aqwal, still exist in books, but not in the fashion as those other four regarding concern that, their aqwal are well documented in the books written by those who of their students and those who came after them. So in continuing today, inshallah ta'ala, that of those things that we'll be discussing regarding of those four madhahib that exist, that still continue, that we'll be discussing concerning matters that relates to the madhahib themselves, those four madhahib, regarding concerning that the main individual who were behind the establishment of these madhahib, al-arba, and also outdatums and some of their usul and some matter that relates to these madhahib, so our understanding of the madhahib and their approach regarding al-fiqh. So as for the first of those madhahib that we'll be discussing, that these madhahib are al-arba, that the first is that of the madhab of Abu Hanifa rahimahullah. So the first is that of the madhab that is referred to as Imam Abu Hanifa rahimahullah, and we mention them based upon so we mentioned concerning the first regarding concerning that of Abu Hanifa rahimahullah. So as for Abu Hanifa rahimahullah and his madhab, that is said to be the founder of this madhab. As for Abu Hanifa rahimahullah, is something brief regarding concerning that this Imam of Abu Hanifa rahimahullah, that his name Abu Hanifa rahimahullah, by way of his name, is An-Nu'man ibn Thabit al-Kufi. An-Nu'man ibn Thabit al-Kufi rahimahullah, and he said, referred to as, and his kunya is Abu Hanifa. So his kunya, and he's more renowned as for his kunya Abu Hanifa rahimahullah. But as for his name is An-Nu'man ibn Thabit al-Kufi rahimahullah tabarak wa ta'ala. As for his birth, that he was born in the 8th of, they mention concern that as-sana al-thamanin, that he was born in the year Abu Hanifa rahimahullah in the 80th year of the Hijrah, and that he died in Baghdad سنة 500 and he died concerning the year 150 al-Hijrah. So Imam Abu Hanifa rahimahullah that he died the year 50 150 al-Hijri, and it is mentioned that he was دفن in مقابر خيزران or خيزران that is in Baghdad. So a maqbara that is in Baghdad that is referred to as Khayzaran, that he was buried there. That's Abu Hanifa rahimahullah. And regarding concern that his imamship that you find and his laqab or name that he is referred to as, that Al-Dhahib rahimahullah that he refers to as being Imam Faqih al-Millah Alim al-Iraq. So Imam Dhahib rahimahullah that he referred to Imam Abu Hanifa rahimahullah with these titles of that of Al-Imam Faqih al-Millah and also Alim al-Iraq, the Alim of Iraq. Then also regarding concerning Ibn Kathir rahimahullah, that in his book Al-Bidayah wa Nihaya, that when he mentioned regarding concerning Abu Hanifa rahimahullah, that he mentioned as his title Al-Imam Abu Hanifa al-Nu'man, then he mentioned Faqih al-Iraq, Ahad A'imma al-Islam, that is one of the A'imma of Islam, Sadat al-Alam, one of the renowned personalities, Ahad al-Arkan al-Ulama, is one of the Arkan of the Ulama, Ahad al-A'immat al-Arba, one of the A'imma of the Arba, Ashab al-Madhahib al-Matbuha, one of and those who have one of the one was a madhab that is followed, so those who have followings or followers, the name is so. So that's concerning in brief regarding what some of the titles or some of the things that he mentioned regarding Abu Hanifa rahimahullah. But we have his title as mentioned, Imam Abu Hanifa al-Nu'man Faqih Iraq, Ahad A'immat al-Islam وسادات العالم, أحد الأركان العلماء, أحد أئمة العربة, أصحاب مذاهب المتبوعة. So these show concerning that Imam Abu Hanifa rahimahullah that he have reached this level regarding his knowledge of Islam and more so regarding al-fiqh. Imam Abu Hanifa rahimahullah, a discussion between the ulama regarding Abu Hanifa rahimahullah, that is classed in the era of the Atba' al-Tabi'in. So he's classed about the era, the time period of the Atba' al-Tabi'in. So those who came where I mentioned that a discussion regarding did Abu Hanifa rahimahullah, did he actually met any of the Sahaba? So did Abu Hanifa met any of the Sahaba of the Prophet alayhi salam? That but during his time, you have some of the companions were still alive. So during his time, you have some of the companions that were still alive. Amongst them, Anas bin Malik, bil Basra, also Abdullah ibn Abi Awfa bil Kufa, Sahl ibn Sa'd al-Sa'adi bil Medina, also Abu al-Tufail Amir ibn Wathila bil Mecca. So those are some of the companions that were still alive while Abu Hanifa rahimahullah was still alive, while Abu Hanifa was around. So they mentioned regarding concern those, but the question concern mentioned that that he did not meet any of those Sahaba. He did not meet any from the Sahaba that were alive during his time. So few companions were still alive during that time. And those ones that I mentioned concerning Anas bin Malik, Abu Tufail, Amr ibn Wasila, of those who live very long. So of the companions the latter of the companions, the last among the companions who have died, but Abu Hanifa rahimahullah, as what is the correct view, that he did not meet any of the Sahaba. So there was no meeting of any of the Sahaba by way of Abu Hanifa rahimahullah. And that is what is more the correct view, based upon there's nothing that authenticate, that validate that Abu Hanifa rahimahullah, that he met any of the companions. As mentioned by Ibn Khalakhan, that mentioning concerning Khalakhan mentioned regarding such matters and others. There's other matter regarding Abu Hanifa rahimahullah regarding his shuyukh. So regarding concerning shuyukh and also the tullab of Abu Hanifa concerning that the student of Abu Hanifa, so his shuyukh, his teachers. So amongst concern that is more renowned of his students of Abu Hanifa rahimahullah, that we have Al-Hakam, also Hamad ibn Abi Sulaiman. So we have Hamad ibn Abi Sulaiman. And also that we have Amir al-Sha'bi, Ikrimah, Ata, Qatada, Zuhri, Nafi, Mawla ibn Umar, Abu Ishaq al-Sabi'i. So these are the said to be of some of the teachers of Abu Hanifa rahimahullah. So again, regarding Al-Hakam, Hamad ibn Abi Sulaiman, Amir al-Sha'bi, Ikrama, Ata, Qatada, Al-Zuhri, Nafi', Mawla ibn Umar, Abu Ishaq al-Sabi'i. These are said to be of some of the main of the shuyukh of Imam, and these are concerned from the amount of Tabi'in. So from among the Tabi'in that Abu Hanifa rahimahullah, that he met and studied and benefit from of those that are mentioned. And they mentioned regarding concern of his more renowned students, some of his more renowned concerns, some of the students of Abu Hanifa rahimahullah, that you find concern that that aided in the spread of his madhab. Amongst those of his more prominent student, Abu Yusuf. So of his prominent students, the one instrumental in the spread of his madhab, who likes of Abu Yusuf, whose name is Yaqub ibn Ibrahim ibn Sa'd al-Ansari. So Abu Yusuf, his name is Yaqub ibn Ibrahim ibn Sa'd al-Ansari, and Shahir bil-Qadi Abi Yusuf, and is more known as Qadi Abu Yusuf. So he's known more as Qadi Abi Yusuf, who died, they mentioned that 182, he died here 182 al-Hijri, and his birth, they mention it's 113 al-Hijri birth, 113 around that time, and he died around the time of 182 al-Hijri. That's Abu Yusuf rahimahullah. And Abu Yusuf rahimahullah, from the people of Kufa. He was born in Kufa and also died eventually in Kufa. And he studied on the Abu Hanifa rahimahullah. Also Abu Yusuf, also he traveled to Medina, and also he met Imam Malik rahimahullah, and that studied with Imam Malik rahimahullah. And upon this, that when he returned, Raja and Kathir, and based upon this, after meeting after his travels and the meeting of the like of Imam Malik rahimahullah, that Abu Yusuf, that he changed some of his view that he had before. Some of the view that he held before, and he came, after coming in contact with the ulama of al-Hijaz, then he changed some of his view that he had previously. So that's concerning Abu Yusuf rahimahullah. That also he was the main qadi, one of the main qudat in the time of the Dawlat al-Abbasiyya. And he was of those who was influential regarding the spread of the madhab of Abu Hanifa rahimahullah. And also mentioned Allafa Kathir min kutub, and also he wrote books regarding the madhab of the views of Abu Hanifa. So wrote regarding concern of those who documented or wrote writing regarding the views of what they refer to as the madhab the Ahnaf, the Hanafiya, that he started, that he was of those who also was instrumental in also in this, and also writing many books regarding the fiqh of Abu Hanifa rahimahullah. Also, the next of his students that was more famous students is Muhammad ibn al-Hasan al-Shaybani. Muhammad ibn al-Hasan, Muhammad ibn al-Hasan al-Shaybani. And he mentioned that his state that he died died the year 189 al-Hijri. So that around 189 al-Hijri. And also of those who met Abu Hanifa and studied with him for a while. They mentioned Fatutun Khasira, for a short time that he studied with Abu Hanifa rahimahullah. And also he studied with Abu Yusuf. And also amongst those who also traveled Rahala ila Medina, also he traveled to Medina and remained there for a while. And also studied with Imam Malik, rahimahullah, where he studied from him hadith, to the extent concerned that that it is, and to the extent where regarding concern the book of Imam Malik, and that will be discussed further regarding the book of Imam Malik called Al-Muwatta, that you have many who have narrated that book. Amongst the narrators of the book of Muwatta of Imam Malik is Muhammad ibn Hasan al-Shaybani. So you find that amongst the Ahnaf that still have a place the book of Imam Malik, as found in the books of the Ahnaf, some of the ulama of the Ahnaf, that they have explained the book of Muwatta of Imam Malik because of that, because of one of the narrators of the books of Muwatta is Muhammad ibn al-Hasan al-Shaybani. So some of the ulama of the Ahnaf that they gave this book of Muwatta attention by way of explanation. So also involved, Muhammad Hassan al-Shaybani, also of those who were involved regarding the recording of the works of Abu Hanifa rahimahullah, and also of its spread, and also of those who were instrumental regarding the spread of the madhab of Abu Hanifa rahimahullah. Third of those students of Abu Hanifa rahimahullah, of the more renowned of them, concerning Al-Zufar ibn Hudayl, so Zufar ibn Hudayl, that died 158 al-Hijri, and also the fourth amongst his students that was known regarding Al-Hasan ibn Ziyad al-Luhlawi. So Al-Hasan ibn Ziyad al-Luhlawi, who died 204 al-Hijri. So those are the more prominent students of Abu Hanifa rahimahullah, and also those are the ones who were instrumental or very regarding the spread of this madhab of Abu Hanifa rahimahullah, as mentioned regarding that the likes of Abu Yusuf, because of him being the judge, one of the 8 judges, that the madhab was spread amongst the judges, and also the likes of Muhammad ibn Hassan al-Shaybani, and both Abu Yusuf and Abu Muhammad ibn Hassan al-Shaybani writing regarding books on the fiqh of Abu Hanifa rahimahullah. As for what is said regarding what have been said regarding the praise of Abu Hanifa rahimahullah, that is mentioned by Ibn Mubarak rahimahullah. He mentioned ما رأيت في الفقه مثل Abu Hanifa. They mentioned ما رأيت في فقه مثل Abu Hanifa, that I did not see anyone, I have not seen anyone regarding fiqh the likes of Abu Hanifa rahimahullah, the likes of Abi Hanifa rahimahullah. So that is mentioned by Imam Abdullah ibn Mubarak. Also you find the statement of Yahya ibn Sa'id al-Qattan, that he mentioned regarding Abu Hanifa, لا نكذب الله, we are not lying about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, ما سمعنا أحسن من رأي Abu Hanifa, that I'm not lying upon Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I have not heard anyone that is very precise regarding al-Rahi than that of Abu Hanifa rahimahullah, that have excellent regarding their viewpoints than that of Abu Hanifa rahimahullah. Then also Ibn Mubarak rahimahullah also have said regarding Abu Hanifa, ما رأيت أورع من Abu Hanifa, I haven't seen any more of piety than that of Abu Hanifa. I haven't seen anyone of such piety of that of Abu Hanifa rahimahullah. Imam Shafi rahimahullah, he said regarding Abu Hanifa, قيل للمالك, it was said to Malik, هل رأيت أبا حنيفة, they asked concerning that, it was said to Malik, have you seen Abu Hanifa? قال نعم, he says نعم, رأيت رجلا لو كلمك في هذه سارية أو جعلها ذهبا لقام بحجة. So he mentioned the praise that have you seen Abu Hanifa? He mentioned, yes, I've seen a person that if he was to speak to you, this person that he mentioned that this person, something he was very concerned regarding being able to can explain is proof that he was very good at this, that Imam Abu Hanifa rahimahullah, that he was a person that was very good regarding putting over his points. So that's concerning that of those things that was said by Abu Hanifa rahimahullah. The ulama mentioned regarding Abu Hanifa. Abu Hanifa rahimahullah, of those ulama, was a more specialist in fiqh. So regarding concerning Abu Hanifa, of those that was more renowned regarding his fiqh, and regarding concerning the bab of qiyas and the likes, that he was known to be of those ulama that was a specialist regarding al-fiqh. As for hadith, less. So as for hadith, less. Also Abu Hanifa rahimahullah, so regarding concerning Abu Hanifa regarding concerning fiqh, he was going to be said to be one of the fuqaha of Islam, one of the imat al-arba, and also regarding concern that also in hadith, less regarding his knowledge of hadith was less. Also regarding concerning matters regarding i'tiqad, that Abu Hanifa rahimahullah, that of those that was said to be of those concerning that in matters of belief, that regarding concerning his belief regarding that, he coincide his belief regarding the matter of Ahlul Sunnah in most of the masail except for a few. So in a few masail that is somewhat erred in those matters as put forth by the ulama, and amongst those masail regarding matters that relates to al-iman. So the bab of iman, that Abu Hanifa rahimahullah, that of his view that was more dimension, that his word was said to be of the view of the al-murji'a al-fuqaha. He was classed amongst the murji'a al-fuqaha. The ulama was of the irja, but said to be of the fuqaha, of the murji'a, by way of concerning matters concerning iman, that they did not all concerning that action is a part of iman, that action to be one of the main components of iman. So based upon this, that he was said to be of the fuqaha, the murji'a al-fuqaha. and is one of his sheikh that's concerned, Hamad ibn Abi Sulaiman, was to be the person, was like also one of the main person regarding the idea of concerning irja. So Hamad ibn Abi Zayd ibn Sulaiman, of those who were of his teachers, and of those who said to be of those who of the early ones to have the view of irja. And so Abu Hanifa rahimahullah, that matters regarding itiqad, in most matters, it was on the view of Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah, Ahl Hadith wal Athar. But regarding concerning some matters regarding of those matters regarding matters concerning Al Iman, that he was of the view of the fuqaha, of the view of the murjia, fuqaha, of the murjia. That I mentioned concerning al murjia al fuqaha, murjia al fuqaha. Next of those matters, but with this concern, the ulama did not so you might find that in some of the books of old, that sometimes the books of old, that they can be stern against Abu Hanifa, and some book that it become now established amongst Ahl Sunnah, that Abu Hanifa rahimahullah is one of the imam of Ahl Sunnah, more so regarding concerning fiqh in matters of aqidah, in most part, but in certain masail that one has to be mindful. Also regarding concern, the next matter regarding Abu Hanifa, regarding that not known for his wara, his piety and his zud, that abstaining from things of the dunya, not so Abu Hanifa rahimahullah was of those people. And with that, Abu Hanifa rahimahullah, that throughout his issue that he had some is dealing with the then state. So the concern that his dealings or involvement regarding concern the state, that it is mentioned regarding concerning that of the hukam of Bani Umayyah, that they wanted Abu Hanifa rahimahullah to take the position of a judge of Kufa. So they want him to be the judge of Kufa. Farafada, but he rejected this. He refused to accept this position, and based upon this, he was punished. So they punished him because of this matter. So the wali of Kufa, Ibn Hubayra, that he had Abu Hanifa, that he was punished for this. So he was punished for like 10 days. Each days he was giving, he was whipped. So every days he was whipped. So Abu Hanifa rahimahullah, so every day was given 10 whips per day. So that's concerning that because of it, and he was still insist on not taking that position. So even though he was being whipped and he was qualified to take that position, but still he refused and he was whipped. And after this, yes, he was not. He's not bending from this. That he's still refusing. Then they they left the matter and left him. So that's concerning Abu Hanifa rahimahullah. Also regarding Abu Hanifa rahimahullah, again concerning Bani Umayyah, that they also wanted him to be the one that was in charge concerning Baytul Mal. So the Baytul Mal Muslim, that they wanted him to be in charge of this, but also again he refused. So he refused also to take such positions. And again, he was whipped. So again, also he was whipped for this. So Abu Hanifa rahimahullah, of those who abstained from taking any form of position in the state, or any form of office within the state, but more concentrating concerning teaching the people regarding Islam. Sharik ibn Abdullah An-Nakhai, when he described Abu Hanifa rahimahullah, he mentioned Kana Abu Hanifa Tawil as-Samt. And Abu Hanifa was known that he would be quiet for very long. A person who would not speak much, was a very silent person. Dahim al-Fikr, and always thinking, always having in-depth thoughts. Qalil Muhadatha linnas, and also did not speak much to the people. Now, a person was spoke much to the people. Then I mentioned Wakana Kathir as-Salah. Also regarding concerning as-Salah, that he would pray a lot. Yaqum al-Layl, he would stand at night. Yukthir min Qirat al-Quran, and also he would recite the Quran a lot. So recite the Quran a lot. So that's concerning of those things regarding Imam Abu Hanifa rahimahullah. Next, regarding Abu Hanifa rahimahullah, regarding concern that is qawahi that he followed regarding al-fiqh. So what is the thing that he would refer back to regarding concerning the principle that he followed regarding al-fiqh. So as for Abu Hanifa rahimahullah regarding fiqh, that is approach that concern that i'timad al-kitab wa sunnah wa aqwal al-sahaba. So Abu Hanifa rahimahullah, of those concerned that you rely upon the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So look to the Quran, then also look to the Sunnah, the Prophet alayhi salam, and also the aqwal of the Sahaba. And if they differ, then you just take the view that he believed that was most correct. So regarding concerning Sahaba, that he would take over in general, that he takes from the Quran as the main source, the Sunnah as of the primary source, and also that أخذ من قول الصحابة, also he would take from the aqwal of the Sahaba, آخذ بقول من شئت منهم, and he would take from amongst them the qawl that he thought was best, that he was more inclined towards. So he would take from the Sahaba the qawl that he thought was best. Then I mentioned لا أخرج عن قولهم إلى غيرهم, and also he didn't per se lead the aqwal of the Sahaba if they have a view on a topic, and take the qawls of the qawls of others over the Sahaba. As for others who came after Sahaba, regarding the likes of Ibrahim, An-Nakhai, Al-Shabi, Ibn Sirin, Ata, Sa'id ibn Musayyib, and others, that you see them as those people being mujtahid, and he didn't and also that he would make his own ijtihad, but not per se stick to the views of those rigidly. He would not per se see that he has to comply with the views of those ulama, of his teachers, but thought that they made ijtihad, and also that he would look also into the matter. As for Abu Hanifa rahimahullah, of those things that became also regarding taking from the Sunnah, so the source that he would take from the Sunnah, but he has certain type of some restrictions, some requirements. So Abu Hanifa rahimahullah had some condition regarding acceptance of some aspect of the Sunnah. So I mentioned regarding Khabar Ahad, that refers to as Khabar Ahad, that he has some type of criteria that he would follow regarding acceptance of Khabar Ahad. So at times Khabar Ahad would not be accepted because you mentioned that لا يخالف الراوي, that the narrator doesn't go against what is narrating. That narrator doesn't go against what is narrating. So the narrator narrating something, but his action, the narrator action is saying something else, then he would have then we look into that matter. He would investigate into that matter. If you find that there's the narrator of the hadith that his action and his fatwa may be different from what is mentioned in the hadith, then he'll have a caution regarding those type of narration. Also regarding, we mentioned concern that Abu Hanifa rahimahullah regarding Khabar Ahad, لا يأخذ بخبر أحد لا يكون مما تعم به البلوى. So regarding concern Khabar Ahad, if it goes against things that is something that should be widespread, then he's very cautious regarding those type of narration. So so if the narration that of Khabar Ahad that seems to be not something which is a widespread matter, then you can somewhat have some reservation in accepting it. And also mentioning the Khabar Ahad لا يخالف القياس, also that it doesn't go in contrary to qiyas. So the thing that so yeah, certain conditions or certain thing that he worked with regarding Khabar Ahad regarding that, you have just a few narrators have narrated that hadith. So hadith that has a few narrators, then he has some reservation, he has some requirements regarding when to accept or reject those hadiths. Abu Hanifa rahimahullah regarding concerning his method regarding that he was known that he, so also Abu Hanifa rahimahullah know also of those sources that he refer back to, also that he was known that he tawassa Imam Abu Hanifa rahimahullah regarding matters concerning al-qiyas. So regarding concerning the area of qiyas, that he kind of somewhat went into use this a lot. So Abu Hanifa rahimahullah that he used this area of qiyas a lot. So he became known as those ones who used this to great extent. He used it to a great extent. Then also Abu Hanifa rahimahullah tawassa fi ihsan, also of those things that also he went into, that he used a lot and went into great details about making a use of the concerning al-istihsan. So istihsan, that also he will go into this matter. That's of those things that is mentioned in the books of Usul al-Fiqh, and what Abu Hanifa rahimahullah, that he would go into those areas a lot regarding concerning al-qiyas with istihsan, that also he would use this a lot and the likes. So that's concerning of those things that he would refer back to as some of the things that he would look and use as way of coming to rulings. Also, Abu Hanifa rahimahullah, that of the thing concerning intishar, the madhab of Abu Hanifa concerning intishar, the spread of this madhab. So the madhab of Abu Hanifa rahimahullah, that it is mentioned to know that it is spread, Abu Hanifa rahimahullah, that is spread regarding concerning places like Iraq during that time, from a while back. Also regarding Al-Hind was seen, Wal-Bilad, Al-Ajam, as mentioned by some of the ulama, that of those places regarding Ibn Khaldun. So Ibn Khaldun mentioned during that time, that from after this time, that a place that it was spread. So Matab Abu Hanifa, some of those matters was widely followed in many places. So in places like in Iraq, even up until today, it's still of those matters that is widely followed, like places that they mentioned regarding concerning that up until today concerning Al-Uthmaniyah, regarding concerning the Khalifa, or concerning the Khilafah of Uthmaniyah, the Ottoman Empire, that they followed the madhab of Abu Hanifa. So the state madhab, the official madhab of the state of the Uthmaniyah, was that of Abu Hanifa rahimullah. And because of this concern, the madhab kind of somewhat even spread more regarding all the areas that they were somewhat under, that they were under this madhab. So you find concerning places concerned that Iraq, like in today, parts of Iraq, Syria, Lebanon, Pakistan, Hind, Afghanistan, Turkey, and those like Russian state areas that seen China, that those areas are still under the madhab of Abu Hanifa. Those areas still for the madhab of Abu Hanifa rahimahullah. So the madhab somewhat of Abu Hanifa rahimahullah, that spread in many areas and still followed widely today. As for concern that as for now, next concern is that Tadween madhab Abu Hanifa, as for now, the recording books being written to capture the views of the madhab of Abu Hanifa rahimahullah, that of those who were instrumental, as mentioned regarding that certain books, that Abu Hanifa rahimahullah himself didn't per se record or wrote any book regarding hadith or fiqh material. So what I've come to is concerning those who wrote recording and capturing of his views, and of those who wrote regarding concerning the views of Abu Hanifa, that they mentioned regarding Muhammad ibn Hassan al-Shaybani. So Muhammad ibn Hassan al-Shaybani also who wrote regarding the views of Abu Hanifa, and others who tried to capture the views of Abu Hanifa rahimahullah. So you find of those renowned books that capture the views of Abu Hanifa from the early days, that you have the book that they call Zahir al-Riwaya. Zahir al-Riwaya. So you have certain books that refer to that capture the view of Abu Hanifa, that and those view kind of somewhat is the view of Abu Hanifa and also Abu Yusuf wal Muhammad. So Zahir al-Riwaya capture the views of Abu Hanifa, Abu Yusuf and Muhammad ibn Abi Shayban. They are the ones who are said to be the ones who kind of somewhat that Abu Hanifa being in the forefront, but also those two also being attached to the madhab of the Ahnaf. So the Ahnaf view is a combination of the view of Abu Hanifa, also Abu Yusuf and Muhammad ibn Hassan al-Shaybani. But Abu Hanifa more so going back to Abu Hanifa rahimahullah. So the books that are called Zahir Riwaya is more so regarding concerning the views of those three, Abu Hanifa, Abu Yusuf, and Muhammad ibn Hassan al-Shaybani. Those books, concerns of those books are Zahir Riwaya, as those books refer to, that is like 6 books, are considered to be like 6 main Usul al-Sitta. Zahir Riwaya, also referred to as Usul al-Sitt. These books that are collected by Muhammad ibn Hassan. Those books are 1. Mabsut. 2. Al-Ziyadat. 3. Al-Jami' al-Saghir. The 4th, Asir al-Saghir. The 5th, Al-Jami' al-Kabir. And the 6th, Asir al-Kabir. So these books are referred to as Al-Zahir Riwayat. So the Dhahir Riwayat comprise of like six books. Again, those books: Al-Mabsut, second, Al-Ziyadat, third, Al-Jami Al-Kabir or Jami Al-Saghir, the fourth, Asir Al-Saghir, al-fifth, Al-Jami Al-Kabir, and the sixth and the last, Asir Al-Kabir. So these are said to be the books that are considered to be the books of the usul that give us the direct view of Abu Hanifa rahimahullah. And some of these books are in print. The asl of those books that's considered to be that the asl are the book they refer to as asl. That's the book of the asl. So those are the books that we refer to as the books of Al-Mabsut. So the book of Mabsut that's also referred to as asl. So these are the books, and some of these books I will mention that they are in print. Some of these books that they are in print. So a person wants to know the direct view of Abu Hanifa, the ones who are said to be the founders, then those books will give us an insight regarding the views that they actually took, the views that are taken by those of the founders of the madhab of the Ahnaf, or Abu Hanifa rahimahullah madhab. Then after, you have books that came after, and scholars that came after and wrote regarding concerning the primary books, with those would be those books that are mentioned. With each madhab, you find out what they have concerning that books that came later on, and those books become concerning Kutub al-Mu'tamad, regarding concerning Muqtasarat, books that explain those Muqtasarat, books that are used by the Qudat, by the books of Fatawa, books of teaching. So each madhab, they'll have a series of books that serve different purpose. Books are said to be Muqtasarat, that give a summary, briefing of the madhab. Then books that will explain those brief texts. Books that will give explanation with dalil. Books that will give a comparison with them compared to other madhahib. So you have those books that will explain in detail concerning each madhab. So all the books of Abu Hanifa, all the books of the Ahnaf, also you'll find the same thing. Books that are said to be the Muqtasarat, books that are said to explain those Muqtasarat, books of Fatawa, books of Usul al-Fiqh, and the likes. So they have a full program regarding books that will explain the madhab of that particular Imam. So in the case of the Ahnaf, you will find this amongst them. As for mustalahat that are referred, so mustalahat in the madhab of the Ahnaf that they refer to concerning the Ahnaf, concerning the mention Al-Imam Al-A'zam. So in the books of the Ahnaf, amongst them, Al-Imam Al-A'zam. So Al-Imam Al-Azam are used sometimes that in the madhab of the Ahnaf is referred to as, that is referred to Abu Hanifa. So concern that is in reference to Abu Hanifa rahimahullah, Al-Imam Al-Azam, that is in reference to Imam Abu Hanifa, according to in the madhab of the Ahnaf. Also they mention A'immatuna al-Thalatha. A'immatuna al-Thalatha, they intend by this Abu Hanifa, Abu Yusuf, and Muhammad ibn Hassan al-Shaybani. So they mention A'immatuna al-Thalatha will be those three: Abu Hanifa, Abu Yusuf, and also Muhammad ibn al-Hassan al-Shaybani. When they use the term Shaykhain or Shaykhan with them, so Shaykhain with them, they will mean Abu Hanifa and Abu Yusuf. So Abu Hanifa and Abu Yusuf, that they refer to as Shaykhan or Shaykhain. Also they have a term I mentioned concerning Bit Tarafaini. So Tarafain, they mean by Tarafain on the other side, will mean concerning Abu Hanifa and Muhammad. So Tarafain, Abu Hanifa and Muhammad. When I mention Sahibay or Sahibayni, it's two companions, they intend by this Abu Yusuf and Muhammad. So the two companions of Abu Hanifa, they refer to as Sahibay or Sahibayni. They will intend by this Abu Yusuf and also Muhammad ibn Hassan al-Shaybani. They have terms like as-salaf in the books of Ahnaf. They use the word as-salaf that have a certain meaning with them. It will mean concerning in the Fuqaha Ahnaf that concern the Fuqaha up until Muhammad ibn Hassan al-Shaybani. Up until that time, they're considered to be the Salaf, of the early ones for them. So they have their own terminology they use regarding identifying certain personalities amongst the Fuqaha in their madhab. That's concerning matters regarding the Abu Hanifa rahimahullah tabarak wa ta'ala and their madhab. Next, regarding concerning that madhab, so that's concerning that madhab of Imam Abu Hanifa. And as we mentioned, for each madhab, they have certain books that are said to be their books that are relied upon in teaching of fiqh, that are considered to be that books that they would rely upon. So each madhab of those books. And as we mentioned that those books are used for regarding concerning mutasarat, that are used for teaching for beginners. Then also they have book for mutawassit, books that are for people on a more advanced level, and also the book that goes into mutaqaddim, those books that are more advanced, and book that goes into khilafi and that goes into khilaf. So you have books of those different types. So you have books that are considered to be the more reliable books in each madhab, and the book of the madhab of Abu Hanifa rahimahullah, also they have their own books that they rely upon. They have their own books that they rely upon, and we mentioned that you have those early books that we mentioned as the Zahir, Riwayat. Some of those books are still present. They are not as used as much as, not as rely upon as much. They are not per se as rely upon regarding teaching material or material that are used as much. But these books that they're there for each madhab. So if we were to look regarding concerning that for the Ahnaf, some of the more renowned books in the Ahnaf, amongst the books that they hold that are considered to be that reliable books in their madhab, of some of those reliable books in the madhab of Abu Hanifa, being concerned of those who came after, Al-Bahr Al-Ra'iq, Al-Bahr Al-Ra'iq, by Ibn Nujaym, and that's a explanation of a book that is called Khanz al-Daqa'iq, and that's said that Khanz al-Daqa'iq is of those books considered to be of the Muqtasar, a brief book in the Fiqh of Ahnaf, but also is of those reliable book that they rely upon. So Khanz Daqa'iq is of those books that is considered to be a reliable source in the Fiqh of Ahnaf, and also mention of his explanation, many amongst them, Bahr Al-Ra'iq by Ibn Nujaym. Also, another book, Bada'i' al-Sana'i' fi Tartib al-Shara'i', and that is by Kaysani, or Kasani, not K, but Kasani. So it is by Mas'ud ibn Ahmad Kasani. That book is Bada'i' al-Sana'i' fi Tartib al-Shara'i'. Another book of them is Hidayah. So the book of Hidayah by Marghiyani. So the book of Hidayah by Marghiyani, which is an explanation of a book that is called Al-Bidayah Al-Mubtadi. So it's an explanation of a book that's called Al-Bidayah Al-Mubtadi, both by the same. So Hidayah explained this book, and so both those two, the Muqtasar and the explanation, are considered to be reliable books in the madhab of the Ahnaf. Another book that is called, you have other books regarding concerning that the book of Inaya Shar al-Hidayah. So you have a book that's called Inaya Shar al-Hidayah. Also you have the books of Mabsut, by Sarkhasi. Also, another book that is reliable is concerned, Ashar Fat al-Qadir, Shar Fat al-Qadir by Ibn Humam. Also, that's a reliable book in the Madhab. Also, Hashia Ibn Abidin, Hashia Ibn Abidin, which is an explanation of another book. So, Hashia Ibn Abidin is an explanation of a book that is referred to as Tanwir al-Absar, Dur al-Mukhtar. So that's concerning of those books. So these are some of the books that are considered to be reliable books in the method of Abu Hanifa, rahimahullah, tabaraka ta'ala. Also another book that is called, and other books that are there, another explanation of Khanz al-Daqa'iq, that's by al-Zayla'i, and that book is referred to as Tabyin al-Daqa'iq, Shar Khanz al-Daqa'iq. Tabyin al-Daqa'iq, Shar Khanz al-Daqa'iq by Zayla'i, which is Uthman ibn Ali al-Zayla'i. So these are some of those books that are considered to be of reliable sources in the books of the Ahnaf, that they refer to those books, and those books are the books that are somewhat still being taught with others, but these are some of the main books of the Ahnaf. So they'll be taught up until today in their institution and in their and in the masajid of and the mashayikh of the Ahnaf will be teaching books of this like. Of those ones that are more famous is regarding concerning Al-Hidayah. So Hidayah is of those ones that are still a main book that is taught and studied amongst the Ahnaf up until today. So the book of Hidayah, that even some of the ulama like Zaylahi went and did some checking of the hadith in that book. But those are some of the reliable. So those are overall some of the books of the Ahnaf. The next of those Imam is Imam Malik rahimahullah. The next of those Imam Malik rahimahullah. So Imam Malik rahimahullah, that his name is Malik ibn Anas ibn Malik ibn Abi Amir Asbahi. Malik ibn Anas ibn Malik ibn Abi Amir al-Asbahi. And it is said that he was born in the year 95 al-Hijri, the year 95 al-Hijri, and that he died bil Medina. So he died in Medina the year Sana 79 wa 100. So he died 179 Hijri, 179 al-Hijri, and he lived to about 80 over 80 years. Lived to see over 80 years. It is stated by Khatib Tabrizi. So Khatib Tabrizi, he mentioned regarding Imam Malik, as Al-Qab mentioned, huwa Sheikh al-Ulama. Imam Malik is the Sheikh al-Ulama wa Ustad A'imma. Wa Ustad A'imma. So regarding, as I mentioned, Sheikh al-Ulama wa Ustad A'imma. Imam Malik rahimahullah, that his household, his family were known for ilm. Imam Malik rahimahullah, that his family, that they were known concerning al-ilm, and that his great-great-grandfather, that was known to be a Sahabi. So his great-grandfather was known to be from amongst the Sahaba, who participate in battles, as mentioned by some. So of the thing that is of his ancestors who were from amongst the Sahaba. And also his grandfather, Malik, that also of his grandfather, concerning of his grandfather, that of his grandfather was known to be Kibar Ulama at-Tabi'in. So his great-grandfather was known to be amongst the Kibar Ulama at-Tabi'in. So that's concerning Maliki, regarding concerning Malik rahimahullah, that known to be of those ulama that specialize or كان سمى تبحر إمام مالك رحمه الله في matter concerning علم الحديث. So of those concerning الرواية الحديث وضبط وتفقه في الكتاب والسنة, that he was known to the ulama regarding that, pay attention regarding that hadith, and also one of those who was a narrator of hadith, and also of those a narrator of hadith, and also a collector of hadith, and also that he very precise regard, and also of those who put a lot of effort regarding studying of hadith. And also Malik rahimahullah was upon the way of the Sahaba and the Tabi'in of Medina. So upon the way regarding his approach regarding al-fiqh, that he kind of somewhat followed the way and the approach and the method of those upon the of Ali Medina regarding from the time of the Sahaba and those who came after them up until his time. So Imam Malik rahimahullah was said to be an Imam fil Hadith and also Imam fil Fiqh. That Imam Malik rahimahullah, that he was said to be of those who was an Imam in Fiqh and also Imam in Hadith. So said to be amongst the Fuqaha al-Muhaddithin. Of his teachers, of Imam Malik rahimahullah, that they mentioned amongst his team concerned from the Atba, that Imam Malik rahimahullah, that took knowledge from of the ulama, of the Atba Tabi'in, amongst them from Muhammad ibn Shihab al-Zuhri, of his teachers, Yahya ibn Sa'id al-Ansari, Nafi' Mawla Abdullah ibn Umar, so Nafi' Mawla Abdullah ibn Umar, ta'ala anhum, and also Muhammad ibn Munkadir. So these are, and they mention also and obviously concerning Hisham ibn Awra ibn Zubair, so Hisham ibn Awra ibn Zubair, and others. So these were some of the teachers of Imam Malik rahimahullah. And there's many who have taken knowledge from him. As for his teacher, there's many who have studied with Imam Malik rahimahullah. Amongst the renown of those teachers, Imam Shafi, also Muhammad ibn Ibrahim ibn Dinar, so Muhammad ibn Ibrahim ibn Dinar, also Al-Mughira ibn Abdul Rahman Al-Makhzumi, so Al-Mughira ibn Abdul Rahman Al-Makhzumi, and others who studied along with Imam Malik rahimahullah. So most of the students of Imam Malik, they will be the teachers of Imam Bukhari, Muslim, Abu Dawood, At-Tirmidhi, Ahmad ibn Hanbal, Yahya, and so most of his students will be the ones who were the students of the likes of Imam Bukhari, Muslim, and the likes. As for Imam Malik rahimahullah, that many people go to Imam Malik rahimahullah because of his knowledge. Many people go to Imam Malik rahimahullah for his knowledge. So as was said regarding Sana al-Ulama ala Imam Malik rahimahullah, Imam Shafi rahimahullah, he said regarding Imam Malik, Malik hujjatullah ala khalqi. Imam Malik hujjatullah ala khalqi. Imam Malik is the evidence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala against his creation, showing the status of Imam Malik rahimahullah. Then he mentioned also Imam Shafi rahimahullah, mentioned regarding Imam Malik, إذا ذكر العلماء, if ulama are mentioned, فالمالك النجم. Malik is like the star. Malik is the star. Also, and also other things that they mentioned by others that is mentioned regarding Imam Malik rahimahullah, that Yahya ibn Sa'id al-Qattan, he mentioned regarding Imam Malik, ما في قوم أصح حديثا من Malik, that there is none amongst the people, but and that hadith is more authentic than that of Malik. Imam Bukhari rahimahullah, of the asah, of the more asah asani, the more authentic asani, they mention Malik and Nafi' and Ibn Umar. So it's considered to be of the silsilat al-Zahabiyya, of those silsilat that is called the golden chains of hadith, which include Malik and Nafi' and Ibn Umar. Nafi' and Malik, or Malik and Nafi' and Ibn Umar. That's considered to be of the golden chains of narrations. Imam Malik rahimahullah, that regarding concerning that Imam Malik rahimahullah, that I mentioned that I was upon the way of Al Medina. So regarding concerning the way of Al Medina, regarding his fiqh, also Imam Malik rahimahullah, that that authored a book. So Imam Malik rahimahullah, that all of those who authored a book in hadith. So the book that he authored is called Al-Muwatta. So Imam Malik rahimahullah, he authored the book Al-Muwatta. So he mentioned that other people wrote book of Muwatta, but his survived, is survive. Imam Malik rahimahullah regarding his book, regarding concerning some of the Khulafa during his time, that they wanted, after he compiled the book of Muwatta, that they wanted that book to be the fiqh book to be studied by the Muslim, or to be applied by the Muslim. They wanted that book to be the standard book to be applied and used by the Muslim. And Imam Malik rahimahullah, he rejected this. He rejected this particular matter regarding that his book become the standard to be followed by all. That he rejected this matter. As I mentioned, he found out the people of ilm and the Sahaba, that they went to different places, so he cannot per se that restrict the people to what is contained within his book. He didn't want to restrict the people to that which was contained in his book, as concerned the ulama from amongst the Sahaba from their time and those who came after them, that they are somewhat went to different region and teach. So he didn't want to that his book to be the thing, that the standard book that everyone needs to follow amongst the Muslim. We might find that his book may not contain everything. That was the view that was thereby of the view of the ulama. So show concern to the approach of Imam Malik rahimahullah regarding that matter. Also, Imam Malik rahimahullah, of those who kind of somewhat he went through imtihan, went through difficult times with the state. He went through difficult times with the state. That he was again also of those who were punished because of he took certain views that the state did not agree with. He took mention of his views that based upon that the state saw as opposing their position. So he was punished for this. So he gave his view based upon the text. So he was somewhat punished for this by way of the state. And also of those who refused concerning al-qadha. So to be like a judge, he refused to be of those appointed as a judge. Imam Malik rahimahullah, regarding concerning the qawaid that he followed, regarding concerning the principle of Imam Malik rahimahullah, of those who stick to the athar. So Imam Malik rahimahullah, regarding to know that first regarding concerning matters of Ahli Medina, regarding matters concerning al-riwayah, regarding concerning to know taking things by way of text, by way of hadith. So it was those concerned that old regarding that hadith and the athar of the Salaf, of the Sahaba, that he held those to be of the main source of dalil regarding the Quran, the Sunnah, the aqwal of the Sahaba, and also even Ahli Medina. So all to those principles that Imam Malik rahimahullah, of those who held to those, who follow those principles regarding approach regarding al-fiqh. So the book of Imam Malik rahimahullah also kind of somewhat it collect Muwatta, the aqwal of concerning contain hadith, also contain concerning aqwal of the Sahaba and kibar al-tabi'in, and also his views. So Imam Malik rahimahullah kind of somewhat collect concerning matters regarding in his book al-Muwatta, hadith, aqwal of the Sahaba, and that of the tabi'in. Imam Malik rahimahullah, he kind of somewhat his way of approaching concerning fiqh as dalil, as evidence, the book, the sunnah, al-ijma in general, and also ijma regarding ijma al-Medina. They all that the views of the ijma, the consensus of the people of Medina, is considered to be an evidence. Also he used qiyas, qawl al-sahabi, al-maslaha, al-mursala, urf wal-adat, sadd al-dariya, istihsan wa istishab. So Imam Malik rahimahullah, that he applied all those, used all those as a source of dalil in looking at matters and coming to conclusion on matters. Imam Malik rahimahullah, that he can somewhat stand out during his time and after, regarding that he can somewhat held the view that ijma al-Medina is a proof. So he held that the view concerned that the matter is discussed between the ulama is the ijma, consensus of the people of Medina. Is this a proof or not? Imam Malik rahimahullah, he believed that it was a proof and can be used as a proof. We find that many may not, others who did not agree with that view, but he held that view that the ijma, the consensus of Ahli Medina, it holds as a proof. So regarding concerning that, so with Imam Malik rahimahullah, regarding concerning that ways of collecting the views of the Imam Malik rahimahullah, that as mentioned that he wrote the book al-Muwatta, that contained concerning hadith wal athar, the view of the tabi'in, and also as mentioned things that he leaned towards, so it can somewhat contain those matters. Then you find that other books start to be written regarding the views of Imam Malik rahimahullah. Of those books that became famous concerning al-Mudawwana, So he had a book called Al-Mudawwana that captured the views of Imam Malik rahimahullah, written by Sahnun. So the book of Sahnun called Al-Mudawwana, and the asl of that book is we're going to mention from Al-Asadiyya, Kitab Al-Asadiyya. So it can somewhat is just collecting views of Imam Malik regarding by way of Ibn Qasim, I've also contributed regarding that, explain Ibn Qasim, explain the views of Imam Malik and it being captured. So those of those early books that captured concern the views of Imam Malik rahimahullah tabarak ta'ala. Then another book after Mudawwana that came concerning a book that is called Al-Wadiyah. So the book Al-Wadiyah fi al-Fiqh was Sunan. That book, of those books that was written by concerning one of the ulama of Andalus, who was Abdul Malik ibn Habib al-Sulami. So Abdul Malik ibn Habib al-Sulami that collected the book that is called Al-Wadiyah fi al-Fiqh wa Sunan. And then others who came concerning books concerning Utbiyya, the book called Al-Utbiyya or Mustakhraja, books that also written by Muhammad ibn Ahmed al-Utbi, that al-Andalusi, that also trying to collect the views of Imam Malik of early. So that's concern of the early works regarding books regarding some of the matters relating to the fiqh of Imam Malik rahimahullah tabaraka ta'ala. Then other books came along regarding concerning the books of the Malikiyya. So other books that came along regarding concerning of those famous books that came concerning Al-Khalil, Mukhtasar al-Khalili or Khalil, and the books of the Malikiyya, and the other books that were written regarding concerning that books of fiqh of al-Malikiyya. So that's concerning books regarding the books of the Malikiyya. As for we can find the Malikiyya of today, that you find that the Maliki madhab is more predominant concerning in northern Africa. So in Africa, it is more predominant, more so in places like Tunisia. It was the madhab of Andalus, Spain, then also in North Africa, so Libya, Algeria, Morocco, Tunis, and other countries, bordering countries that it's also a part of the Africa. Some of those African countries also the madhab of Imam Malik rahimahullah is the one that is the followed madhab amongst many of those countries. So in Sudan and the likes, Mauritania and those countries, that the madhab of Imam Malik rahimahullah is the madhab that is followed today in those region and other places of within Africa. So that's concerning the madhab of Imam Malik rahimahullah and how it became. So and you find that not those states, because it become like the state madhab for a while, then that's the reason why it's somewhat it still survive and it still survives. So of those madhab that still survive for the reason that we have mentioned before regarding why some of the madhab that they survive, but the madhab of Imam Malik rahimahullah of those and that we still have today intact. So you have books that are mukhtasarat, books that explain these mukhtasarat, books for a person who's of the advanced level, books that goes in khilaf, the books of Ibn Rushd and others who have written regarding the madhab of Imam Malik rahimahullah tabaraka ta'ala. So those are matters regarding concerning the books of and you still find today with the books of those madhab, still books are new that are coming out. The books of Qadi, Abdul Wahhab, one of the kibar ulama of the Malikiyya. So you find the books of those individuals that they are still coming out, being printed, explain the madhab of Imam Malik rahimahullah. So that's concerning of those works relating to the works of Imam Malik rahimahullah and how that matter became established. With that, inshallah ta'ala, with these two we'll end today, and inshallah ta'ala we'll continue in the next session regarding to discuss the next two Imam, which is Imam Al-Shafi and also Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal rahimahullah jami'an. So with that, inshallah ta'ala, we'll stop. And in summary that we mentioned regarding concerning more today, we concentrate on discussing that something relating to the madhab of Imam Abu Hanifa and those who are the something about his life, and also some of the people of some of his students who aided and supported that madhab and also helped in the spread of that madhab, the likes of Abu Yusuf, the likes of Muhammad ibn Hassan al-Shaybani and others who were instrumental in the spread of that madhab, and also that some of the works of that madhab and also the works of also the life of Imam Malik in brief regarding concern, and also some of the ulama who wrote on that madhab, or wrote books of explain the madhab of Imam Malik rahimahullah, and also regarding concern the works of Imam Malik himself, the works of the books of Muwatta, and so as concerning those matters regarding these two madhahib. With this inshallah ta'ala will end. وبالله تعالى توفيق وهذه إلى السبيل والآخرة والحمد لله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.